In touch, it's called Ulavi 1114. Slap bam in the middle of the bridge. If you've just tuned in, you're just in time to be inspired. We're hanging this morning with Nandi Zama. She's made history. We've said this before. She's 31 years old and she is a pilot. I almost said a pirate.
Well,
I almost lost it completely.
I wasn't going to save you there and say close enough. No, you're on your own.
I almost literally changed your entire career path in a single link. She's a pirate of the Caribbean.
Yes.
How are you doing? Welcome to the studio. Thank you so much for taking the time to actually get out of your hectic schedule and chill with us and inspire us. Hello.
Hello, hi, thank you for having me on your show.
It's only a pleasure, it's only a pleasure. So you're 31.
I just turned 32 last week, the 4th.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Happy belated birthday.
And how was that? Were you in the air? Were you mid-air or were you on the ground?
I orchestrated that one to not be at work. Even
Okay,
I
great
took that
stuff.
day off, it was good.
Boss lady, so you have been doing this for how many years now?
I qualified as a pilot in 2006, so
Yeah.
I've been flying since 2006, which makes it what, like 11 odd years.
Yeah.
Can't
Sure.
count.
That is 11 odd years flying
Yeah.
as an official pilot, an accredited pilot, and you're only 32.
Yeah, it seems a lot longer than it actually
How old
is.
were you when you started? What inspired this?
So I finished high school, and really my main push towards this line of work was a very dedicated science teacher. I'd say her name, I don't think she's listening. She lives in London now.
Yeah.
Avani Haribans. She was very keen on exposing all our maths and science kids to a different line of work, you know. And I was attracted to a sort of an unorthodox or unconventional career. So when she brought in these applications, like snippets from the papers, I was like, okay, this is something worth trying.
Yeah.
And I applied and I got accepted. So that was I think I did my selection board in 2003 or 2002. I wasn't even legal, I wasn't old enough yet. My parents had to consent. And then when I finished high school, then I went straight into the military. I started there in 2004 and did some military courses or conversion courses before we started flying. So yeah.
Is this where you did your cadet training? Do you guys go through the same with regards to SA, NDF?
It's so you could think about it as the cadet equivalent. So we have a 3-year training process.
Yeah.
And because we're in the military, you're required to do military training before you fly, before you even see or touch the aircraft.
Yeah.
You need to get military training.
Yeah.
So we did that for 2 years. So out of the 3 years, 2 years is just military work, and then you get to ground school and you do aeronautical work. And the last year of your training is your flying work at Central Flying School.
I want us to get into military work. What does it entail? Because for me, I'm like seeing bombs, I'm seeing guns, I'm seeing rolling over, climb this, get off that, sweaty, sweaty, sweaty. I'm seeing like pulling bags of sand, and I'm seeing like literally, you can tell.
So that's the Hollywood version. I mean,
Okay.
I'm sure there's some element of truth to that.
Yeah.
The training part, especially, you'll do a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But what you are speaking of is more in the line of the army. So just a distinction. I work in the Air Force. Although we
Okay.
are all under the National Defence Force, it's two different elements altogether. So we stop hauling sandbags and climbing over this and all that once we start with the flying phase.
Yeah.
So that's where the difference comes in. And then for us, military work entails being a military aviator, you flying a military aircraft or doing jobs that involve military aircraft on a flying unit.
Okay.
So the show, the display in Durban a few months ago, 2-3 months ago, that I saw, which was remarkable.
Was it amazing?
You missed out. I mean, I felt like I was watching a movie. I was in awe. Were you part of it also?
Unfortunately not.
You didn't go, okay.
Yeah, I heard good things about that. I wasn't there. That was the month that I was doing my my first evaluation for the upgrade. We call it an upgrade, so I got upgraded to a commander. So I was abroad at the time getting evaluated. I was with an instructor, and by the time I came back, the Durban show was all over. So I also missed out.
Listen, you get to fly a cargo plane, which is like a huge thing. So you're allowed to. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. Let's talk about the ranks. I'm very much interested in the ranks because the feature is called Started from the Bottom. So what was your bottom in coming into being a pilot?
Bottom rank in the Air Force is called an airman's rank.
What do you do? Is it like the coffee maker and the mop and the floor mopper of the?
It is the bottom of the bottom. You spend
Really?
your first 2 months just running. You're scared of everybody. You
Go
don't know
get
where
this,
you're
go
supposed
get
to be.
that.
Yeah. So we start off as airmen. When we do our basic training, we almost don't have a rank. And then when we do our officer forming training, we become candidate officers. Now we're training to become officers, and that's what the gold ranks are. So every time you see a gold rank, that person is an officer. We have what we call commissioned officers and non-commissioned officers. So yeah, that's basically where I started. Then it's a progression from being a candidate officer to then being an officer in the lowest ranks and working your way up from there.
There's so much to talk about with Nandi Zama. She is a pilot. She flies for South African Air Force. She flies South African Air Force planes. She's still in the studio with us. This is Started From the Bottom. It's 11:20. She's going nowhere anytime soon. Glad to announce also that today's foreplay is Nandi Zama's foreplay.
Yeah.
So you're going to get to know her as well through the music. Because I think in uniform, she's in uniform, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So in uniform, she probably looks like she doesn't have a life and all she does is like keep things seriously. But I think it's always telling when you listen to a person's playlist what kind of social person they are. We'll be right back.